Late at night, a young man waited at an abandoned train station, but the train he boarded wasn't bound for any ordinary destination. This is the story of the ghost train, a journey that no one should ever take. It was a cold, foggy night when David, a traveler running late, arrived at a station he didn't recognize. The sign overhead was too faded to read, and the platform was eerily quiet. But he didn't care. He just needed to catch the last train. When it finally arrived, he knew something was wrong. But it was too late to turn back. David boarded the train, relieved to have made it in time. The carriage was old, its seats worn and dusty, but he barely noticed. He sat down and waited, staring out the window as the train began to move. That's when he noticed something strange. The landscape outside wasn't changing. The train wasn't heading toward the city. It was heading into complete darkness. The other passengers sat silently, their faces pale and emotionless. David tried to ask them where the train was going, but no one responded. Then he saw it, a shadowy figure at the far end of the carriage, staring straight at him. The train's lights flickered, and the figure disappeared. But then, it reappeared, closer this time, its hollow eyes fixed on David. The other passengers didn't react, as though they couldn't see it. The air grew colder, and David's breath fogged in front of him. Suddenly, the train screeched to a halt. The doors opened, but there was no station, only an endless void outside. The figure whispered, "This is your stop." David bolted to the other end of the train, trying to escape, but the doors slammed shut behind him. He turned to look at the other passengers, only to realize they were no longer human. David closed his eyes, bracing for the worst. But when he opened them, he was back on the empty platform, the train nowhere in sight. The clock on the wall read midnight, exactly an hour after he had boarded. Shaken, he left the station, vowing never to return. Years later, he learned the truth. That train only appears to those who are destined to die within the year. And David never made it to his next birthday.